Good morning, my chickadees. This is the last week of mathematical instruction for your 2019-2020 school year. Okay, so today we are learning something very important. I want to lay a foundation of this for you because next year when you move on, you are really going to need to know this, okay? So we're taking something that we've already learned and we are changing our final answer, okay? Today it is lesson 132 in your awesome, handy dandy math book. We are learning how to write a remainder from division as a fraction, okay? So before we begin, take your crayon, colored pencil, whatever you want to do. Write your name and today's date at the top of the page, just like I am now. Here we go. I am Miss Caitlin. Oopsies. And today is May 26th. Is that true? Something like that. I mean, it may be another day for you. Who knows? Okay, so I'm Miss Caitlin. Today is May 26th, possibly. And we are going to do remainders as fractions. So on the board, I have 1, A, B, C, and D. And hopefully by the time that we've gotten to D, you can do E and F on your own. Considering that I've been teaching you math for a year and I know how your brains tick and talk, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to. So here's a review of the different parts of a division equation, okay? So here's your little box, right? This is your divisor, the number knocking on the door, and this is your dividend. Squeaky clean board. The number inside the house is the dividend, and at the end you're going to find your quotient, right? That's the answer to the division problem. So all of these equations are not going to divide evenly. You are going to have what is called a remainder, okay? An answer to your subtraction that is less than your divisor, okay? So you've done multiplication, you've subtracted, you found your difference, and your difference is less than your divisor. So you now have what is called a remainder, right? You have a remainder. Now, in my beautiful red, to write your remainder as a fraction, okay? Your remainder becomes your numerator, and your divisor is your denominator. Okay? So up to this point, we've been writing quotient, our remainder. Okay? Now we are going to use our remainder as our numerator and our divisor as our denominator, okay? Now notice that divisor and denominator both start with D. That should help you. Which number do I put on the bottom? The divisor, because divisor and denominator both start with D. What number do I put on top? My remainder. Okay, so you have quotient. I'm going to put it up here. And then your fraction, which is remainder over divisor. Okay? Now, I'm going to erase this and we're just going to put it straight into practice. Here we go. All right, our first equation is 13 divided by 2. I know my 2 times table. I know that I'm going to have a remainder in this, okay? So what times 2 gets us really close to 13? My guess is 6. 6 times 2 equals 12. 13 minus 12 is 1. 1 is less than 2. There is nothing to bring down, so I have a remainder. Now remember, my remainder becomes my numerator, and my divisor becomes my denominator. So I write 1 over 2. Okay? And 1 over 2 is a special fraction. We call that 1/2, not 1/2. That is something completely different, okay? So the answer to 13 divided by 2 is 6 and 1/2. My remainder became my denominator. My remainder became my numerator, and my divisor became my denominator, okay? Here we go again. 17 divided by 2. I know that's not going to go in evenly. I go 8 times 2 is 16. 17 minus 16 is 1. 1 is less than 2. There's nothing to bring down. I have a remainder. My remainder becomes my numerator. My divisor becomes my denominator. So the answer is 8 and 1/2. Please notice, when we write remainders as fractions, we don't put the remainder symbol in there. So you see how I just said 6.5 with no R in between and no dot, no decimal point, no nothing, okay? It's the whole number and the fraction. And when you have a whole number and a fraction together, we call that a mixed number, okay? 4 into 15, my guess is 3. 3 times 4 is 12. 15 minus 12 is 3. 3 is less than 4. I have nothing to bring down. Therefore, I have a remainder. My remainder becomes my numerator, and my divisor becomes my denominator, okay? D. 3 3/4. And last one that I'm going to do with you, 5 into 21. My guess is 4. 4 times 5 is 20. Very good. 21 minus 20 is 1. 1 is definitely less than 5. I have nothing to bring down, so I have a remainder. We write the remainder as a fraction. Your remainder becomes your numerator, and your divisor becomes your denominator. 21 divided by 5 is the mixed number 4 1/5. Ooh, yeah! So take a look at the way that we did these, okay? We studied this on top and this on bottom, this on top and this on bottom, this on top and this on bottom, this on top and this on bottom. And that's how I want you to do E and F, okay? It's up to you to do those too. I'm moving on to the story problems now. Abigail and Phyllis each made 96 pieces of fudge to give as gifts. They divided the fudge evenly and put it in 3 boxes. How many pieces of fudge did they put into each box? This is a 2-part equation, okay? Abigail and Phyllis each made 96 pieces of candy, okay? You know how I am about writing those names. Abigail, Phyllis. The word each means every person mentioned, okay? 96 and 96. 6 plus 6 is 12. Carry that 1. 1 plus 9 is 10. Plus 9 is 19. Okay? Now we know how much candy they had in total. They divided the fudge evenly and put it in 3 boxes. How many pieces of fudge did they put into each box? So now we take the total amount of candy and divide it into 3 boxes, okay? So that is 192 divided by 3. 3 goes into 1, can't do that, you gotta skip it. 3 into 19, yes. 6 times 3 is 18. 19 minus 18 is 1. Is 1 less than 3? Yes, it is. Bring down. 3 into 12 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 minus 12 is 0. 0 is less than 3. There's nothing to bring down, and there is no remainder. So, the final question states, how many pieces of fudge did they put into each box? Each box contained 64 pieces of candy. Oh my gosh. Yum! Okay, so if I had done 96 divided by 3, I would only be dividing the amount of candy that Abigail made, or I would only be dividing the amount that Phyllis made. In order to know how much candy Abigail and Phyllis made, you have to add them together. And they said they each made 96, okay? Ooh, that is story problem A. Let's try story problem B. Okay. Bill has 39 sheets of paper in his notebook. Robert has 14 fewer than Bill. And Jason has twice as many as both Bill and Robert. How many sheets of paper do all three boys have? So they want to know all three boys added together. So you got to put all three boys' names, okay? So I'm just doing this to B. Here we go. Bill, Robert, Jason. Oh, my friend Jason. Okay. Final question, how many sheets of paper do all three boys have? That is an addition question. Now, clue words. Gosh, this board is squeaky clean. I guess my hands should be squeaky clean too. That's why they're squeaky, squeaky. Okay. Fewer. That tells you to subtract, okay? When you see fewer, you need to subtract. And twice as many means 2 times, or times 2, okay? So here we have Bill. Bill has 39, as the story problem states. And then the story problem says, Robert has 14 fewer than Bill. That's a whole sentence. Bill, fewer minus 14. And then Jason has Bill plus Robert times 2, right? Twice as many as Bill and Robert. Okay? Wow, this is pretty advanced stuff. Y'all must be elite geniuses of the 3rd grade. Okay, 39 minus 14 is 25. Carry that, okay. You can also go over here. 9 minus 4 is 5, and 3 minus 1 is 2. Okay, now Jason is Bill plus Robert twice as many. Okay, so 39 plus 25, 9 plus 5 is 14, 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 2 is 6, and so I'm going to erase Bill plus R and put 64, and now 64 times 2 is how much Jason has. 64 times 2. 2 times 4 is 8. Very good. And 2 times 6 is 12. 1, 2, 8. Make sure your ones place is lined up, your tens place is lined up, and your hundreds place is lined up. Okay? So now we are ready. 9 plus 5 is 14. 14 plus 8 is 22. 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 plus 2 is 7. 7 plus 2 is 9. And bring down that 1. So how many sheets of paper do all three boys have? 192 sheets of paper. And you know how much stuff we write in school? I don't even think that's enough. Ha! They have 192 sheets of paper in all, period, circle. You rocked it. All right, so now make sure that you do E and F in section 1. Make sure that you answer the time in section 4. And right now, I'm going to remind you of the Roman numerals that we had learned last week. Remember, there's a whole phrase for the Roman numerals we have learned so far. I value X-rays. Lucy can't drink milk. Okay? So the first letter of all those words, I value X-rays, and then I draw a line. Lucy can't drink milk. All right? And then, remember, for Roman numerals, we toggle between the number 1 and 5. 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5, and then we keep adding zeros, okay? 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5, 1. No zeros. 1 0, 2 zeros, 3 zeros, okay? 1, 5, 10, 50, 100, 500, 1,000, okay? And that's going to help you to do section 3. You gotta do section 3 on your own, you gotta do section 4 on your own, and then, of course, the whole back page. Okay, my chickadees, you are so totally awesome. Have a great day. Rewatch the video, finish your work, move on to other stuff. Just 2 weeks left. You can do it. In Jesus' name.